Nicole, tell us about, I know we've had a lot of questions about these contests,
Yeah,
but
so the contest is coming to an end for the DiNapoli tomato contest. Show us your sauce. So I hope you all got your sauce 15-second videos posted to your stories, and you tagged both DiNapoli tomatoes and also Slow Rise Pizza, because Rob is going to be looking at those videos very carefully. So get them in the next 5 minutes before the contest closes. And before we finish today, we will announce the winner for those.
outstanding, outstanding. So Nicole, what are we going into next here? Now that I think that we've gotten, we're going into the contest phase. Is that correct? What's the dealio?
Well, we also have two wonderful ambassadors from Uni next that we are going to be talking to, Mike and Eddie, and they're going to be showing their pizzas.
All right. Well, let's go ahead, Noel. Unless you want to say anything, let's go ahead and think about my scorpion tails as we bring Mike and Eddie from Uni on. Mike and Eddie, if you're there, let's get some videos going and let's get this mother stinking pizza party rolling. All right. And with
Mike?
that, I'll see you guys in a little bit.
Starting.
Hello.
Hey, Mike. How are you today?
Hey, I'm good. Thanks for having me on here.
Thank you guys for having me on here. Very excited.
All right. So do you guys have some pizzas to show us? We're excited to see your pizza.
Well, today what I've actually done for us today is I've actually done a par bake, and I par baked this. I'm going to actually make a Sicilian in the Uni oven, so we should have that here pretty shortly. My wife's actually working on that, but this is the bottom of my par bake. This is pretty thick. It's about 1.5 inches.
It rose really nice. We've had a lot of questions today, Eddie, about par bake. So maybe you could just kind of give us a little time and temperature, because we just had a pan pizza from King Arthur, and we had some questions about the par baked for the Unis.
So I do par bake my Sicilian crust in my conventional oven using the convection setting. I put it on about 485, and I basically par bake it for about 7 to 8 minutes. I rotate it maybe before the last minute is over, and I take it out, and I always take them out of the pan and put them on a cooling rack, because I like my pizzas, my Sicilians, to be nice. And you were talking about crispy bottoms. I love a crispy bottom.
We want crispy bottoms.
And I will say mine is really, when you eat this, it's almost like eating toast. It almost like melts in your mouth. So that's the texture of my pizza. Not a lot of Sicilians are like that, but extremely light. I mean, this is so light. It's like air. There's nothing in it, but it
looks wonderful.
It's really delicious. But yeah, in order to get this beautiful crust and things, I use nothing but Lloyd's pans. Got a plethora of them over here. I got 12 by 12. I got a 9 by 9. Detroit pan. This is this is a 10 by 14 pan. So got quite a few collection of pans.
A selection. So yesterday you showed Noel and I a really interesting pan. So can you show that to the group, and maybe we can guess? We have some really fun calendars to give out, so maybe we can ask them where they think that pan came from, and the winner could get a calendar.
Look at this beautiful pan. It's about a 13-inch pan. Has like these, it's like a ridging or like a ridge in here. Not sure exactly what that is for. I'm guessing that maybe people put their dough up to that line, or etc. I'm sure maybe that's what that's used for. But yeah, that's beautiful. Look how nice
that's a really nice pan.
Yeah, beautiful pan.
So, do you want to tell everybody where that pan was from? I think we have a couple good guesses.
Well, I actually obtained them through a friend for a flea market, and he actually got me 2 of these. And then he turned them around. He calls me Eddie. He goes, Eddie. He says the back of this pan says Pizza Hut on it. So I don't know if you guys can see it, but it says Pizza Hut right on there. So this is a beautiful pan.
We had 2 people who guessed that right. Chris and Greg. Good job, guys.
My only regret was that I wish you would have bought all of them, because I really love this pan. I mean, it's a great pan. I'm a square guy, but this pan is beautiful. So.
And does it cook as good as it looks?
It does, yes. I do something. I actually do believe it or not, I do a Columbus style pizza, and that's usually use my standard dough, and I usually roll it with a rolling pin in cornmeal. I basically get it and I dock it so that it doesn't rise up on me, and I line that pan with a little bit of Crisco and extra virgin olive oil, and then I throw that dough in there and then sauce it, cheese it, and pepperoni it edge to edge. So if you're following me on Instagram, you'll probably see that picture of mine, edge to edge pepperoni. I didn't invent it. Actually, the Columbus style people did. They invented that.
Nice.
So
nice. So we're gonna shoot to Mike. Are you gonna get your pizza ready and we can throw it in the oven? And
yep, it's actually my wife's man in the oven, so I'm gonna go out there and check on it. I'll be right back.
okay, we're gonna talk to Mike about his oven because Mike has a professional Uni, right, Mike?
Yeah, I got the Uni Pro heating up about 30 minutes ago. I put charcoal in there to heat it up. I'm gonna show you how to do it with the natural fuel. So also I'm gonna do the exact opposite of Eddie. I'm actually gonna do a bar style pizza, 12-inch round in the Uni Pro using charcoal and wood combo. I can actually kind of show you what's going on right now. It's a little bright, so went under the overhang. So this is my Uni Pro right now. The charcoal's been going on for about 30 minutes now. Let's see here. You can kind of see the embers going back there, hopefully.
Yeah.
But right now the stone's sitting at about 700 degrees. So what I'm looking for, especially when you're doing natural fuel, I'm looking for about 550 degrees Fahrenheit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually leave it in there. And once you're looking to get the coloring going on, I'm going to spike it with some oak wood. So depending on how hot or cold the temperature is, you can go with like a 3 or 4 inch mini split or like a 12-inch split as well. So the only issue is when you're doing the natural fuel, it's obviously a little more finicky. So you never know what the temperature is going to be like, especially if it's like super hot outside, super cold outside, windy or whatnot. So we can check back. I'm actually going to fire up that bar style pie when we're doing more of the contest. I know Noel is going to check in with me as well. So we can kind of go from there.
Now, are you going to play around with the baffle on your oven at all to see about?
Yeah, let me go back to the oven here.
Changing,
one of the
adjusting
keys,
the temperature?
Yeah, one of the keys to the oven is make sure you have the gloves on first and foremost. But there's this baffle right here. Right now it's in the open position, parallel. So all the oxygen can flow through the oven, right up the chimney. If you put it in a closed position, especially when the flame's going, it actually cuts the oxygen, not 100%, but cuts it down, and it actually makes it so less of a flame kind of holds in that temperature in that Uni oven as well. So these do have a gas option.
That's probably really great when you're cooking like 3 or 4 different pies for people at a party.
Yeah, exactly. So learning the oven itself is definitely one of the struggles at first. But once you learn the oven, I feel like there's so many different options from, like a New York style, Neapolitan style, of course, to all these different pan styles as well. So you can go like Eddie did and do a par bake. Makes it super easy, especially if you're entertaining. Throw a few pans in there while you're making some round pies. It makes it super fun.
What's your favorite kind of pizza to cook in there?
My favorite pizza is what we kind of dubbed, it's called the low and slow technique, which basically is like a New York Neapolitan hybrid. What we do is actually the same technique. We use nice coal, so we get 700 to 800 degrees Fahrenheit on the deck. Let that sit for a couple of minutes to get the nice crispy base, and then what we do is we put the wood directly on the deck to get warm, and then we spike that flame, and then we just do a series of turns until you get the desired temperature or color, I should say.
And how long does that usually take? About
that one takes anywhere from like 3 to 5 minutes depending on the temperature of your oven. But I like it because it more resembles more of like an American style pizza, New York. No flop, I should say,
Nice crispy bottom, a little fluff. Yeah. So we'll let you prep your bar pizzas and we'll go back to Eddie and see how Eddie's doing.
Sounds good.
And we'll be back at you, Mike.
Sounds
Looking
good.
forward
I'm
to your
gonna,
pizza.
Okay. I think we're ready. So let me hold on just a second here. I'm gonna flip you guys around. I'm actually gonna take this pizza out. I'm gonna hand the phone to my helper out here. Can you guys hear me?
We can hear you great. We can see your.
Can you see this Uni? Can you see this
Yes.
beautiful pizza coming out of this Uni? Look at all these Roni cups
Wow,
on here.
that's beautiful pizza.
Everybody
Wow,
knows
look
me
at all
as
those pepperonis.
yeah. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take it out of here. The bottom looks extremely crispy. It's beautiful. Take it out of the pan. It come out pretty easy. It's done, folks. I just might, let me just check the bottom here real quick. Oh boy,
Now, do
it
you
looks
put that
beautiful.
back in ever and give it a little crunch on the bottom?
I am. I want to show you guys what this bottom looks like. Maybe my daughter can. I just want you to see the bottom, if you can see. Can you see that? Look how beautiful and crispy that is. I mean, it's caramelization. I mean, is just beautiful. I'm gonna just put it back on the deck, just for a little bit, and then we're gonna take it inside. We're gonna post bake dress this pizza up. What I like to do. It's like one of my favorite parts of making the pizza. But this oven, I mean, I actually lowered the temperature of the oven just so this thing didn't burn up. And par baking for me works great because I like the way that my pizza tastes. You know, it's nice and fluffy. When we cut into this, you're gonna see. So that's it. I'm gonna go ahead and take it in the house. I'm gonna go ahead and cut it and post dress it. So so follow me in there.
Okay, we're excited to see it. And hopefully maybe he'll have a scorpion tail to show us.
Well, my daughter is gonna flip the camera around here. So there you go. You see it?
How do you finish your pizzas, Eddie?
So what I do is I actually have it. I'm gonna cut this in big slices for you guys. I like the big slices. So I'm gonna finish it with a little bit of dried Greek oregano, a little bit of garlic oil that I have here. Made that up day before always, and I'm gonna put some basil on it. And then I'm going to garnish it with, we actually have some ricotta mascarpone dollops. So that's one of my favorites. So I'm going to go ahead. You can hear the crunch. You ready?
Nice.
Big slices. That's my favorite. Look at the Roni cups on this thing.
And what kind of pepperoni do you use?
Oh, Rosa Grande.
Rosa Grande. Okay.
Rosa Grande by Hormel. And
got that little cup and crisp.
Oh, yes. I don't know if it's cup and crisp. It's a real thin diameter, and I use a thick. So I actually hand cut the thick ones myself to about, like, I don't know, probably about 4 to 6 millimeters. So it's a nice. So I like the dimension of the pepperoni. I like a mixture of thick and thin. So I'm gonna go ahead and put some dollops on here. Big
Looks
dollops.
delicious. Wow, I'm hungry.
Oh my God. This is like one of my favorite pizzas. I've always been a pepperoni lover, and oops, that's all right.
Now you do a little catering with your pizzas also, right, there, Eddie?
I do. Yeah, I do. Friends and family come and get them from me on a Saturday here. So, they love coming and getting them, and I love cooking them and making them for people. And, and I do it, pretty religiously every Saturday. I've been doing it for like over a year, but I've been making pizzas for a long time. So let me cut up some basil. I meant to do this earlier.
That's okay. Now we have a couple questions in the chat about Ezo pepperoni. Do you ever use Ezo pepperoni?
I have. Early on, I did use the Ezo pepperoni, and I do like Ezo or Ezo pepperoni. The one thing though is that I noticed that it blackens a lot more than what I'm normally used to on a pizza. And I like the cups. I like the cups. I mean, I know they have different kinds. They actually have like what they call a burro cut pepperoni that I've used. That's similar to the Rosa Grande thick. But I kind of like this, I kind of like the pepperoni that cups and maybe not burns. Now these burned a little bit because they were in the uni, but not as bad as some of the Ezzo pepperoni. So last but not least,
what's your last step?
That's
Ooh, it looks delicious.
Well, actually, one more step. Actually, after this, I forgot. Garlic oil, and then
I'm sure lots of people want to see the inside of it so they can see your crumb.
Right, and then I do the pecorino romano. And no, I got this from Mediterra Bakehouse. This pecorino romano from our buddy Anthony Ambulotis. So if you guys can see that, look at that pizza.
Wow.
I mean, here's a side view of it.
Nice.
I mean, okay,
and can you give us pull a piece out so we can see the crumb inside your pizza?
Yeah, let's do that. Let's pull this one out right here. Wow, this thing is super light. You guys wouldn't believe this. Oh, and by the way, tomatoes on here, Bianco DiNapoli tomatoes.
Nice.
Look at that.
Wow, that's beautiful.
Look at that. Look at that crumb right there.
That is really something.
Dinner tonight.
Look at that bottom.
Those were really nice.
This is so light. It's light as a feather. I would say one other thing. I actually, when I went to Pizza Expo a couple of years ago, I visited Metro Paint, John Arena. I was blown away by his Sicilian pizza down there that he makes. And I was just like, okay, I got to figure out how to make this. So I don't quite do his process, but I get pretty much this pretty good results. So I'm pretty happy with it. But
nice.
I'm now, of course, I'm gonna have a piece of this, right? Can I eat this on camera? I mean, I gotta see if it's any good.
We're gonna shoot over to Mike and see how he is, and we're gonna come back to you, Eddie, and see how the pizza was.
Sounds great.
Hey guys, you caught me in the middle of cheese in the top. Actually, what I did was I started off with just a tomato base during the par bake inside of here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fire it back up with just the cheese, and we're gonna do something special today. We're gonna put some Bianco DiNapoli tomatoes on top. So I'll do a little bit of once I have the cheese on, I'll kind of show you what I'm working with. Then I'll do some dollops of some red sauce. What I did earlier, I pureed some of this whole peeled Bianco DiNapoli tomatoes, and I just added a little bit of oil, some salt, and some basil. So we have some mozzarella and cheddar because it's a bar style pie. I like to put cheddar on there as well. So I'm gonna throw that in there. Actually, I almost forgot. Let me go grab the tomatoes here.
Eddie, I know your mouth is full and you're not supposed to chew with your mouth full, but unmute when you get a chance. I want to know what you're experiencing. I'm jealous.
Oh my God. It's unbelievable. It's so crispy. It's so light. The sauce. I mean, when you use good tomatoes, sorry, my earpiece was falling out. When you use good tomatoes, fresh tomatoes like this, I actually just used the whole peeled Bianco DiNapoli. I got a ton of cans over there on display. But when I just use that can and I hand crush them, add a little bit of salt and pepper. I put a little bit of garlic in them. That's all you need. You don't even need any of that. You just put a little salt in them. They're just so good the way they are. So not an advertisement for Bianco DiNapoli. I'm just telling you, I've been using these tomatoes since 2014. So honest to God, great tomatoes.
And we had a question about your cheese. What kind of cheese was that again that you put on top?
So this is a ricotta. I actually add a little bit of lemon oil to it. So it's a ricotta, mascarpone, and heavy whipping cream. And I kind of mix that together. And that's the dollop I put on there. But the cheese that I've been using on my pizza has been grande whole milk mozzarella. That's the cheese I've been using. And I've been slicing it. That's been instead of shredding it. So I've actually invested in a nice slicer, and it goes a lot faster putting them on pizzas. And I like the results with the melted cheese. Rather than sometimes if you use shredded cheese, sometimes it can look a little stringy. But I'm getting great results, and it tastes great.
And it looks beautiful.
Oh,
so
I wish you guys could have some.
I wish I was there to have a bite. So we're gonna go to Mike, and he's going to show us his pizza.
Right, so I'm actually just finishing up right now. I put a couple pieces of the small 3-inch split oak wood on there. It's kind of, you know, steaming up a little bit here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait for that to catch flame here. And then I'm just gonna constantly rotate my pizza until I get the desired color on there as well. One important thing too on this, I'm actually gonna shut this here as well. One important thing on, if you're making like a bar style pizza, especially on the Uni, if you want even a crispier base, when the pizza's done, you can actually take it out and put it on either a wood peel or a metal peel, fire it right back on the stone so you can get an even crisper base. I'm using Lloyd pan, metal pan, so it actually kind of helps with the heat retention as well. So let's see here. Got a lot of smoke coming on here.
You look like you have a lot of smoke.
Live TV here, so it's not the best result here. Let me work on that fire here real quick. Yeah, too much smoke here, guys. Work on that flame.
Here's the thing that I always say, though. If that happens to you, that's good for us to see, because I think a lot of us think that it's always strawberries and cream for you guys, right? So if your oven's too smoky or you need to make adjustments, that's good for us to see.
As you can see, just need a little bit more oxygen. See it now. The flame's going pretty good now. Give it about 30 more seconds. That's all it needed, with some oxygen back here. So it's just fun to kind of play around. Obviously, just like Noel said, it's never perfect, even for people who have done it for a while. So it's kind of just fun to play with the elements. So hopefully you can see that flame going.
Yeah, wow.
Right now, the key is just making it so we get the desired color on top. So I'd say maybe a minute or two, and then we can kind of see what's going on from there. Of course, during that minute or two, do constantly rotate the pizza.
Now, do you cook with gas only, or do you always use the wood or the charcoal? I mean, the flavor is always better, but if you're in a hurry.
Yeah. I've actually just recently kind of made it a goal to cook more with the wood. Gas is obviously great for if you're entertaining, or especially if you're at first, when you're trying to focus strictly on the pizza, not have to worry about the temperature of the oven and maintaining that flame. But for right now, if I'm making pizza for my family or whatnot, I'm going with the wood. You can kind of see that flame going.
Great flame,
ripping on there as well. So of course, just you know, just like earlier, a minute ago we had smoke and no flame. Now we have, you know, a great, beautiful flame going. So kind of just roll with the punches. That's the thing with cooking with the natural fuel as well.
And what temperature is your stone getting to right now?
Oh, got a little cheese on me from the glove. Let's see. The back of the stone right now is about 675 degrees.
Wow.
The front's still about 450. So since we're just focused on the coloring right now, I can kind of let the you know, pretty view just take place. And I'll show you. I can kind of pick it up right now and show you what it's kind of looking like right now. I don't know if you can see, but I want a little bit more darker coloring going on up top. So, but what I'm going to do actually is once you cut off of me, I'm actually going to take it and place it on a cutting board and kind of check the bottom. And if it's to my preference, we're done. If not, I'll slide it onto a pizza peel and finish it off on the stone.
Okay.
And then this is the bar style, tavern style, whatever you want to call it. I like to cut it in party cut. So I'll kind of show you what I do for that as well.
Yeah, that's
so you kind of see the flame going right now. I like a nice brown, you know, browning on my cheese. Of course, the tomatoes on top look really beautiful as well.
And how long do you preheat your oven before you start cooking?
I preheated this. I started at about 230, so about 30 minutes. 30 to 40 minutes before. I like to say it's better to leave room for you know, wind or different obstacles than having to rush. Because the most important part of the oven is your stone temperature. So right now, I kind of want to work on some more browning on that corner, and then kind of go from there.
Well, it's looking really nice.
Thanks. So this is a fun way to do it. Of course, if you are doing one of like the gas options, the Coda 16, or even the gas attachment for the Pro, you can use the dial to your advantage. You can either turn it off if the stone's to your desire, or you can turn it on low. The Coda 16 actually has the ultra low setting that actually wasn't in the manual, but that actually helps on these. That actually helps quite a bit on these pan pies. So the color is looking pretty good. I'm actually going to take it out of the oven, and I'm going to slide it on the cutting board and kind of see what we can go from there. So I might have to cut over to Eddie here for a little bit.
Okay, while you change yours out, we'll see if Eddie has some final words, and then I think Justin's going to be giving us the blue bell pretty soon if we don't finish up, because we need to keep on schedule.
Yeah, you can just cut over to
before we go, Mike.
Yeah,
okay.
All right, sounds good.
That pizza is going to be amazing. I can tell you that. Yeah.
So Eddie, can you tell us, do you use that ultra low setting on the Coda 16?
I do. I do turn it down real low. That was enabled me to get that temperature down so that the pizza isn't scorching. But yes, I do get that ultra low. So I guess they call it a hack, but it works. It works very well, especially for the Sicilians. If you're making Detroit's, any kind of pans in there. But yeah, it works real well.
And then do you ever fire up your oven, get it really hot, and then turn it off and let the pan cook that way?
I have done that. Yeah, that's Mike actually kind of invented that. So that's the low and slow method. And so I have tried that, and that it works just equally as well, as good as well. I have made like New York style pizzas in my Coda as well without a pan, and that's a great technique. So I really like that technique as well. I actually have one of the Uni Pros. That was actually my first one I bought back in 2018 when I first started into pizzas or making pizzas with the Unis.
Oh, that's great. I have a 16 and I turn it off. I think that works good with the pan pizzas, and if you just need a little extra time but no browning.
Yeah, it's a great oven. It's the fact is that it's so portable. You can take it anywhere. It's so light. You can do anything with it, and that's why I like it. So
it's great. It's transformed backyard pizza making. You don't have to have this big expensive oven, and you can move it around as you need to.
That's what I tell everybody. Everybody's talking about building a brick oven in their backyard, and I had those aspirations and dreams to do that too. But it's just nice to have something.
You don't need to now. This is cost effective. It's great.
Right, you don't need to.
Thank you, Eddie. We want to see Mike's pizza before we have to get on for the next session. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Let's see yours, Mike. Wow.
Ooh. Looking good, Mikey.
Want to bite, Justin?
Yes, Mikey, you're muted, bud.
Oh, okay. You can hear me. Sorry about that. So yeah, nice and golden brown. I'm actually going to keep it just the way it is. I like it just like that. So I don't have any slippage. Here is you can see the Bianco DiNapoli tomatoes on top. I do on these bar style pies, I do a cheddar and a low moisture mozzarella blend on there as well. So I can cut into it. You can see the little crumb. Of course, this is very thin. Some like it even thinner, some like it thicker, but like you said, it's as long as it tastes good, that's all that matters, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it looks like it tastes great.
So
thank you. Do you have any other fun tips that you could share with us about your Uni?
On this particular model, I kind of showed you about the coal and the wood technique, the baffle. Let's see here. I mean, the main thing for all home users isn't the flame. So you saw that flame ripping. So it's all about this. It's all about that stone temperature. So stone temperature is key, no matter if it's a pan pie or round pie. So I get a lot of. There's actually a video online, YouTube, why stone temperature matters. I made, and it's just super critical.
Yeah, I think that's for people starting out. I think that's the most important thing, is to get your stone temperature hot, because if you don't, then you get that soggy middle in the crust, and the outside gets burnt, and you don't get a wonderful pizza. It takes a few trial and errors to get that right.
Right, and it's especially if you're using natural fuel like charcoal and wood. Going back to when I started the flame, even if you start the flame an hour early before company comes over or whatnot, it's better to add more fuel than to have to struggle and try to figure out how you're going to get that stone temperature hot enough to cook pizzas on time. So
yeah, No, I totally agree. I noticed you have an infrared thermometer.
All right. This is actually, I call it the essential tool. So some of them have this dial on there. You can't really rely on the dial. So the infrared thermometer, you can pick readings of the back of the stone to the front of the stone. To get the full heat up, you want at least minimum of 30 minutes to get that stone temperature up. But I always kind of shoot from middle to the back to see what that temperature is reading.
Yeah, I think that's a key feature. They should just put those in the ovens, sell them together.
Yeah, for
It
sure.
looks like you have a really nice table there. Did you have that made?
So this is actually a Uni Modular Table. I'm gonna take you off the tripod. I'll kind of give you a little tour here. Hold on one second.
Cole, I think it's good to be an Uni ambassador, huh? All the perks.
Look at that table.
Yeah.
That's pretty sweet.
Yeah, so here's the pro we've been working with. I got another shot of the pizza. Of course, you can't do a pizza without the nice tomatoes here. But, you know, it has the room for all the fuel. This is, I organized my wood down here, so it's nice, easy access. You got the turning peel. This is the bamboo peel as well. So it makes it super nice, especially if you're entertaining. You can kind of see my cheese was right there. But, you know, having the topping station handy to your peels or whatnot, it just makes it super nice. So that's actually a good view right now, the pizza oven and the tomatoes back there. So
Well,
I also want to say thank you
really
to
nice.
all the, you know, Bianca, DiNapoli, all the support they've given me over the, you know, the years as well. So I really appreciate that as well.
Great. Well, thank you so much, Mike. It was wonderful. Your pizza looks delicious. I wish we could come and have a bite with you.
Yeah, thanks for having me on here. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks for sharing with us.
Yeah, and thanks, Eddie, and thanks, Mike, for jumping on and hanging out with us. That was awesome. Eddie, you know, now people are clamoring for your Sicilian-style recipe, so I don't know. You got to, hey, right, you know what we say, there are no secrets in pizza, right? So thank you guys very, very much. That was awesome. I saw some hands in there grabbing some slices, so looking forward to that.